Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, Colgan Bickey, and today we're going to talk about why, if you genuinely want to start to change your life around and truly start to become that version of yourself that you know you're capable of becoming, then it is absolutely crucial for you to stop trying to bring your old habits and behaviors into your new life. And instead, just really start to learn not only how to change your actions and your mentality, but how to then properly have them align with your overall vision from here on out. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, with the audio everywhere else. Now, when it comes to just truly changing your life around and becoming that version of yourself that you know you're capable of becoming, understanding that you have to stop letting your old habits and behaviors carry over into your new life genuinely is so important. Because not only was this something that I was doing every single day with every single little thing, having it destroy my growth, my progress, and my consistency, but really, this was something that is just going to keep you in the same exact cycles that you're trying to break away from. Because at the end of the day, your mentality, your behaviors, and your actions dictate and control every single little thing you do. They control your past, your present, and your future. And until you start to have these things align with that new life, with that new vision, with that new goal, nothing is going to change, because that's exactly what was happening with me until I not only started to learn how to change my mentality and my actions, but how to then properly have them align with my overall vision from here on out. Because you see, back when I was still living in Maryland, and this is something that we've talked about quite a bit on the podcast, but when I was still living there, I was not in the right place and I was not in the best mentality, right? My habits, my actions, my mentality overall was just very negative, and everything I was doing was just digging myself deeper and just deeper into a hole and having me in just this lost, this give up, this just I can't do anything type of mindset, to where it literally started to destroy my life, right? It would keep me in the same exact cycles, and it would hold me in the same place that I truly wanted to break away from. Because instead of having my actions, the habits, the things that I would do on a day to day basis align with what I felt, right? Because deep down, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to leave the city. I knew I shouldn't go downtown and do the things that I was doing. But because of the habits and the behaviors that I developed, I would ignore that inner feeling, and it would hold me back so much to where I wouldn't even try and push towards my goals. I wouldn't even try and make myself out there, and I would stay inside this comfort zone to where I knew it was bad. But because of the things that I normalized, right? We talked about that in last episode. Because of the things I normalized, because of the habits and the behaviors I was formed, it held me in a place that I was not able to escape from, until one day I woke up and I realized that my life was not going to change living in that identity, right? Because at the end of the day, Jeff Bezos, when he changed his life, he didn't change his life by making excuses, being lazy, not going to the gym. He had to shift his identity into a person that does get things done, that does go to the gym, that works 8 hours, comes home, and does even more. And that's the mentality I had to do. And the second I started to shift my actions, the habits, and the behaviors, and have them align with my overall vision, my life slowly started to change. Because when it comes to just truly changing your life, this is something that a lot of people struggle with, because not only do we think that we lack potential, do we blame it on our surroundings, but we never look at ourselves. We never realize what we normalize, what we tolerate, and what we do on a day to day basis, right? We like to overlook every single little thing, but take the blame and be accountable. And that's okay, because everybody does it. But in order to change, you have to do those things. You got to take the blame. You got to be accountable, and you have to own up to these things. You can't just live in the same exact habits, do the same exact things that you always done, but accept results, right? Because results happen through habits and actions, not through intention. You might have great intentions, you might have great ideas, but if you don't act on it, you don't build consistency, you don't build discipline, nothing is going to move in your life. Hence, why aligning your actions, behaviors, and mentality with your vision is so important, because you have to try and act like that person before you become that person. You don't become a multi-millionaire entrepreneur just by doing it. You got to act like it. You got to build that mentality. You got to go through the failures. You got to go through your journey, and the process will happen over time. But you got to go through those steps. And when you sit there and just try and carry all of the negativity and all of the old into your new life, you are never going to be able to push forward. So, if you genuinely want to start to change your life and truly start to become that version of yourself that you know you're capable of becoming, then understanding that you have to stop trying to carry all of your old habits and behaviors into your new life truly is so important. Because when I sit here and tell you guys that it isn't going to do anything but keep you stuck, destroy your growth and your overall potential, I genuinely do mean it. Because as you see with me, that's exactly what had happened until I not only started to learn how to change my actions and my mentality, but how to then properly have them align with my overall vision from here on out. So, moving forward, instead of just remaining in these cycles every single day, wondering when your life is going to change, wondering when that door is going to open and you'll finally take that first step, take action right after this episode and start making it happen. Start realizing your habits and your behaviors and where they are taking you. Start realizing, are you benefiting from it, or is it destroying your life? If you're benefiting, keep it up, find more like it. If it's destroying your life, stop ignoring it and change these things around. Start taking real action. Start moving with intention. If you want to change your life, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be an NFL player, whatever it might be, start having your actions align with it, because these things don't have to just be thoughts. They don't just have to be dreams. They don't just have to be wishes. They can become your reality, but you have to move that needle along. You got to take that first step. You have to start acting like it and putting in that work, because the universe will reward you. But until you really move, nothing's going to happen. Take action towards these things. Focus on your habits, your behaviors, and mentality, and change your life around. Because when I sit here and tell you guys, you can do whatever you want, you can achieve whatever you want, you can be whatever you want, I genuinely do mean it. You just first have to stop carrying your old habits and behaviors into your new life and just really start to learn not only how to change your daily actions and mentality, but how to then have them properly align with your overall vision from here on out. But with that said, today's quote is by James Clear. He once said, "True behavior change is identity change. You might start a habit because of motivation, but the only reason you'll stick with one is that it becomes part of your identity. Anyone can convince themselves to visit the gym or eat healthy once or twice. But if you don't shift the belief behind the behavior, then it is hard to stick with long term changes. Improvements are only temporary until they become part of who you are." I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowden Podcast.